this?
Because sorry, I feel very panicked. I felt that when the car was put in reverse, I interpreted that as being put in reverse to hit my partner that was outside of the car. And I didn't know what to do to defuse the situation. I was very scared. So I did do what I did, but I've never done anything like that in my life, and it wasn't intended to hurt. It was just intended to stop the situation, although now I realize it was not the right thing to do.
Yeah, but the car wasn't moving when you took the swing, was it?
The lights, the reverse lights were on, and I panicked.
But was it moving?
No, I thought it was going in reverse, though. It was very close to us, and he was between the two cars.
Ma'am, in the time that all of that happened, had that been Miss Stewart's objective, she could have gone into reverse and caused great damage, right?
Yes, I thought that's what was happening. I thought that's what was going to happen.
Hold on a second.
I'm sorry.
While you're thinking about that happening, you had to exit a vehicle and get yourself up next to her vehicle and then take the swing, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a lot of time, relatively speaking, isn't it?
It didn't feel like it at the time, but yes.
Well, it's a lot of time, given what you were trying to prevent, right? All of that could have occurred within the time frame that you got out, walked up to her vehicle, and hit her, correct?
Yes.
So tell me what makes me believe that you won't do this again. This is, I mean, as I read this, it's one of the most troubling things for me because it's a lot like road rage that just is occurring, sometimes inexplicably. So tell me what will assure the court that you're not going to do this again.
I have never in my life been involved with any kind of violent interaction, and what I did not come from a place of anger or wanting to punish someone, but just from a place of fear. But I know now I've learned my lesson, and I will never do anything like this again, nor have I done it before. This is very uncharacteristic of me. I am not a violent person. I'm not an angry person.
Ms. Stewart, how old were your daughters?
They were 7 and 9 at the time.
Okay.
See if she can.
Ms. Fenby? Ms. Fenby,
Yes.
when you hear Ms. Stewart not so much talk about herself, but about the effects it had on her daughter, what comes to your mind?
I feel horrible. My heart breaks, and I'm so sorry for the impact that this made. I never wanted anything like this to happen, and I am so sorry.
But what do you think about when you hear a mother talk about what her daughters are thinking?
I feel very bad. I feel very remorseful, and it honestly breaks my heart. I would never want to have that impact on anyone, especially children, and I am so sorry.
All right. Stuart, let me tell you this. A couple of things. I don't believe that imposing jail at this point is the thing to do. Because I don't think, as I listen to you, I don't think that that's necessarily what you really want to have happen. It sounds to me, and maybe I'm wrong, and feel free to correct me, but I think what you care about more than anything in the world is not even the punch, not even any of that, but your daughters think and what they think now going forth in the world. I think that's primary to you in everything. As I'm listening to you, I'm trying to decipher what you're telling me, and that's what I'm getting from it. Okay, and I'll just say, as a parent, I hear you. Right, it's tough enough out there without stuff that's happening. But also, I have to say that as I read the report and everything, I have to commend you. Because what you could have done is to step from that vehicle, cause a confrontation that could have gone anywhere. And a lot of bad things could happen. Right? But what you did is you got your family out of the way, went down, and you reported. Quite frankly, I don't think there's a greater lesson that you could have imposed upon your daughter or given your daughters as to, in certain events, how to handle that type of situation. Because you could have taught them something very different. And so, like I said, I have to say, when I look at this, I commend you. I've been sitting here a long time, and I see these incidents, something like this, and they just escalate into things that we can't even imagine that it even started the way that it did, and then it turns into whatever. Okay. But I also don't think that jail time is it.
I would like to
Because
say,
I don't.
I did
Go ahead.
explain. I did explain to my daughters what. So me, of my request is requests from my daughters, and then me explaining what the possibility of what the sentencing would be, and I did talk to them about what probation was offering. And as my daughters, who is now 14 and 12, from the words of their mouths, they said that's it. That's all she would get.
No, I understand.
So I'm just
Yeah.
saying it. And so, yes, I am here fighting for what my daughters would want, or what the words they said to me. So I know how things are, but in their head and what they interpret and what they see, and what they saw and what I think they think what they feel the law or what bad people do, or think what's supposed to do, I think that they won't get it. They won't get it. they won't understand.
They may. They may. I think that kids are a whole lot.
Maybe as they get older, over time, but I think, I just think as two young African American girls who see a Caucasian woman assault a Black woman, they see what they are seeing in this world. And they said, that's it. Is that it? So I'm here because I am fighting for them. I am fighting for them. What they think should
I
happen.
understand that. But ma'am, let me just tell you this.
Yeah.
And since you broke it down and brought it up, I was raised by a Black woman. I understand. And I understand how I'd feel if that was my mother being hit. But I also understand what our sense of justice is and what really has to happen. And quite frankly, despite what they may want, as parents raising kids in this world, we don't teach them about what the ultimate thing may be, but we teach them about what the right thing is. And sometimes what we have to do, despite all of the other things that are going on out there in the world, we have to have them understand what may be true justice. Just because something else is happening to somebody else or something is happening in a particular way, that doesn't mean doing X on this end is the right thing. Because I think that way, quite frankly, that's how our kids get in a lot of trouble. And so it's going to take moms like you, like my mom, like all of those moms out there to teach kids that there's a different way, despite what their reaction may be. So I understand what they say. I get it, because I know how I'd feel if it was my mom that was hit. Okay? I don't know that it would have turned out that way. I could see me and my brother coming out of that back seat. I don't know. All right? That's if we could beat my sisters out of there. So I get it. But I think they need to be shown that there's also a better way. And that certain things aren't going to happen the way that they want. I will just say also, in a moment of levity, having raised a daughter and also having my niece, that while I appreciate their thought process in it, I don't know that I'm going to be taking sentencing advice from 14-year-olds. I just, because they have their own way of thinking about the world. I mean, I appreciate their view, but no, we let them run the world. We're all going to be in trouble. But anyway, all right. So here's what I'm going to do, though. And Ms. Polera, I'm going to increase the probationary term. So I'm going to order one other thing. Instead of the 12 months probation, I'm going to send Defendant be placed 24 months probation. She used to pay the $555 fines and court costs. Her probationary fees will likewise concomitantly go up to $720 probation oversight fees. There is to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. You'll be subject to random testing as directed by probation. You are to complete an anger management class within 60 days. I will order that you're to continue your current mental health services at Packard Health, follow all recommended aftercare, including therapy and medication protocol. There is to be no contact with Karma Stewart or her family, directly or indirectly. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's to be no assaultive, threatening, intimidating behavior on your part. You are not to possess any weapons, firearms, ammunition, or anything fashioned to be a weapon. I will order 93 days in jail. I will suspend that jail. I'm going to add a term other than the increase in probationary time and the like. And that is, well, let me put it this way. You know, it's easy to use words, Miss Benby. And it's easy to say those words, remorse it's easy to say those words after it's all over. I'm sorry. But one always has to wonder whether or not you mean it. I realize when people get before me, they say that all the time, and I have to sort out whether or not they really mean it. So, Ms. Valera, and you know, the other thing, Ms. Benry, I'll just say this: you're telling me that you understand it and that you feel bad about it.
Bad doesn't really cover it.
You sound okay. Well, you sound like an articulate person to me. So I'm going to reserve the court's right and jurisdiction to impose jail term during this probationary term. But here's what you're going to do. You're going to write 2 letters of apology. The first letter of apology is going to be to Miss Stewart. And I'm going to see whether or not you truly are remorseful. That letter of apology is to be given to probation. I don't want you to have any contact with Miss Stewart. And so that's the first letter.
Okay.
You understand that?
I do. I wrote it down. Yes.
And I will be, Ms. Fenby, so that you understand, I'll be reviewing those letters. So I'm going to be the one to see if there's remorse there. So you're going to write that to Ms. Stewart. But then the other thing you're going to do, and in a separate letter, because I think that there are separate issues that if you were really hearing what Ms. Stewart said and not just giving lip service to it, and you don't need their names. I don't want you to have their names. They're minors. You're going to write a letter of apology to the daughters. And I would suggest to you that in that letter, that you deal and grapple, maybe to the extent you understand, with what Ms. Stewart said about how it would feel to see that happen to your mother. Because see, I don't consider myself a violent person, but I know what me and my siblings would have done. I can just tell you. Because that would have been just a mess at Starbucks if it were my family. And that's why I give Ms. Stewart all the credit in the world. But I want to see those, and then I will make a determination as to whether or not I will impose any jail time on the 93 that I've suspended. Everybody understand that?
I so appreciate that. Thank you.